Hi.
Hello. All right, give us a few minutes. Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you? How are you, Prina?
Fine.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so hello, everyone. Hi, Kalpana, and whoever I've not said hello to. This is a hello to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. And let's begin. So let me just put everybody on mute. Yes. And thank you for being here. Hi, Deepika. All right, so as we move today a very interesting topic, and it brings a smile to my face because it's not like we've never gone through this situation. We always say, oh, the whole world is such a hypocrite, nobody is real, and everybody has so many faces, and people are never truthful, and all of that stuff. And to how to deal with that when somebody backbites about you, or when you are saying something about the other behind somebody's back, how to understand the energies of all of that. Just simply to understand in the energies. So right off the bat, we can put one thing out there, that I'm going to keep coming back to that one same line that I speak all the time. And that one line is, the work is within. How is the work within when somebody else is saying things, blah, 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 blah? Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail, but the work is always within. And so let me just first mute my energy. That's how. Okay. So how is the work within, and how do we understand the energy when somebody is talking behind your back and you find out about it? So firstly, let's pick up a situation where you are the one that is talking about somebody behind their back. You are the one. You are the one who's got, something to be upset about. And that's what it is. You've got something to be upset about. And that is why. Can you understand why you would talk behind somebody's back? Why you would criticize someone? Why would you have something to hold against someone? Well, a few things. It might be that they've upset you. It might be that you mistrust them, and you are just simply, bringing out your mistrust through your words talking about them. It might be that you mistrust them, or it might also be that you might be jealous of them. And those are just covering the various scenarios where you might fall when you are talking, when you are criticizing somebody, or saying something against somebody which is not in the brightest light, not in the rightest light. So when you are the one doing that, then take a look within. If the other person has done something to upset you, if the other person has done something to hurt you, and so you want to relieve that hurt, and you want to say something to that person or about that person, but you're afraid to say it to them, and so you go behind and you talk to other people. Where are you operating from? In this instance, you are operating from a place of hurt. If you are operating from the place of hurt, well, the very basic, what frequency is yours? What frequency are you operating from? If you are operating from hurt, and if you are operating from sadness, by doing whatever you're doing on the outside, that hurt is not going to be repaired. You might be able to vent, but how beautiful it is that when we think that through venting, we are actually repairing some of the work within, we are feeling good inside. Well, through the venting, we've only simply grown that energy. The more we talk about that hurt, instead of releasing it, the more we are going to be sitting in that place of hurt. The more we are going to be sitting in that place of hurt, the more we are growing that hurt in our energy. Today, somebody hurt us. Tomorrow, two more somebodies will hurt us. Why? Because it is my hurt frequency and I am growing that hurt frequency. So this is when you're talking about somebody coming from a space of hurt. What do you have to do? You have to look at the hurt. The hurt is beautiful because the hurt is a result of, it's a result of expectations. When we have expectations from someone, and when those expectations break, then hurt is the beautiful frequency to be experienced. So if we are experiencing hurt, then to take a look, where all did we create expectations? What expectations do we have from that other person that have not been met? There is nobody out there who needs to meet your expectation, but there is everybody out there who will reflect your energies back at you. So if the energies is what is bothering you, the energies of that other person did this, that other person did that, and they are so bad, well, if you got hurt, you must have created some attachment. You must have created some kind of a linkage of expectations. And then when there are attachments and there are expectations, they will break. And they are so beautiful to break, especially when you are aware, because immediately the finger comes back within. I'm being hurt by this person. What am I going to do? Am I going to go and talk to other people about it, 5 other people? No, that won't even help me at all. I can recognize that part when I am operating from the aware space. When I'm not operating from the aware space, of course, I will go and talk to everybody about it, thinking that by talking about it, by relieving myself in that one moment, that energy of hurt is going to reduce. So doesn't happen. The second place, when you're coming from a place of mistrust and you think that somebody is not doing the right thing, and you are also fearful of being in front of them, you are fearful of talking to them about it, then you might want to go out, you might want to be, talking to other people, but operating from the energy of mistrust. And so again, whose mistrust is it that you are sitting in? That outside person is not trustworthy. That outside person doesn't deserve to be doing whatever they are doing. However, whose frequency of mistrust is it? It's your frequency of mistrust. And the more you mistrust, the more the universe is going to throw that frequency back at you. Would you want to mistrust? Would you want to trust? For me, always simply the answer is, I'll go into the heart and check. And the heart always speaks oneness, and the mind always speaks separation. So whenever the mind is operating in separation, immediately to be able to see that the finger is outside, the blame is outside, can I bring the finger back within? And to bring the finger back within, the easiest way to do is to recognize firstly, which frequency have we tuned into? If the frequency is of mistrust, the mistrust belongs to us. And can we change that frequency of mistrust? Absolutely. In a minute, we can move from mistrust to trust. In a minute, we can move from complaint or the focus on the outside to joy and the focus on the inside. The third scenario, pretty similar again, when you are speaking something about someone behind their back out of jealousy, when you are jealous that they have something that you don't have. And now you don't know how else to behave in that scenario. And so you just simply want to get some weight off your chest. And so you say some things about another. Will that make you feel more complete? Will that incomplete, that they are incomplete, they are not this, they are not that, will that make you feel more complete? Maybe in the moment it will, but it will not make you feel incomplete because you have just grown the space of jealousy. And jealousy is simply lack. They have this and I don't. And if I don't have this, what am I going to do? Trying to gather something so that I can collect whatever it is that I'm lacking right now. physical accumulation never really helps, right? So only being able to look at the lack, being able to look at the jealousy, and being able to release the jealousy will bring you back to joy. And then you will feel no longer feel the need to be talking about someone else or something else behind their back or in front of their front. You will have no need, only because you will be back to the space when you understand there is nothing outside of me, but simply a reflection. There is just my reflection that is outside, and I have to look within to see what frequency am I operating from. This itself, that I have to speak, and I have to be not speaking in front, I have to speak at the back, because if I speak in front, then something might happen. And herein comes this term. I'll go into this term a little bit later as well, but this term two-face, that you have a different face to somebody and you have a different face to somebody else. But to understand that whether you have this face or another face, all is a play of your energy. And unless you've looked at that energy outside, speaking a lie, it doesn't matter at all, because who is the one that you are speaking a lie to? There is no one else but you. There is no other. So if you are speaking a lie about somebody or are speaking behind somebody, it doesn't matter what you're saying. The fact that you are simply sitting in fear. And that is why two faces, one face here and two face there. What is the thing to be looking into? To be looking into the fear. What is it that you are fearful of? What will happen if you say something and that other person finds out? Why will you not go and say something directly to that person? No, he's a boss and he always takes things very badly. I can never ever be in a place to have a good conversation with my boss, because he'll do this to my bonus, he'll do that. And so I will catch hold of another colleague. I will catch hold of another somebody who works in the same office, or no, I'll probably get somebody, in my friend circle, and I will complain to them about my boss. And what will happen as you complain about the boss? Nothing. You've simply grown that energy of separation between you and your boss. What would I do if I was in your place and I couldn't have a conversation with my boss? If I was feeling afraid of talking to my boss, well, I would look at the fear. I would look at my frequency that is stopping me from having a single face. Because, mind you, in the energy, you only have a single face. There is no double face. This is your fear that is creating this second face for you. But in the energy, whatever you are speaking with whoever's name you are speaking, whether you work on yourself or not, whatever energy you're carrying with a person's name on it, their energy will receive it. They might not know what is happening, but when your equation worsens with them, understand that it's your energy that's playing the game. They are simply responding back as a reflection of your energy. And that's how to understand when we go around. This happens all the time at work. In every corporate setting, we're always standing by the water coolers and then talking about something or the other, bitching about someone or the other. And as you do that, when you are unaware, you do that. It's fun. Sure, if it's fun, do that. But understand that if you're coming from any of these frequencies, frequency of mistrust, frequency of jealousy, frequency of fear, and then, of course, frequency of that separation, when somebody hurt you, then what are you going to be doing about it? Now, each time when you stand at the water cooler and talk about somebody, hope you will be able to, one part of you will be observing you and telling you, look what you're doing. This is this frequency that you are growing, and you'll be able to sidetrack from there and come to more awareness the next time something like this happens. Now on to the second scenario. When you are the one that somebody is talking about, when you are the topic, and then somebody is talking about you behind your back, when you don't know, all is perfect. You don't know. Your energies will sense something, and then you'll be feeling, You might get a feel for it or something, but you don't know. When you don't know, all is good, because what is your frequency when you don't know something? Your frequency is of joy. When you don't know something, when you don't know that somebody is talking about you, what is your frequency? Nothing. You don't feel triggered. You're simply moving along in life as is. You've got so many other things to trigger you. And this right now is not one of them. And then what happens? And then somebody will come and tell you that, hey, did you know that this person is talking about you? And they are saying some not so nice things about you. What would you feel? What would you feel? Would you feel angry? Would you feel hurt? Would you feel resentment? Would you feel saddened? What would you feel? No matter what you feel, I hope you know where I'm going with this. Whatever that you are feeling is your frequency. There's someone talking about you. If it triggers you, then the work is on you. No matter what you are feeling, any of those emotions, you might feel angry, resentment, you know, I did so much for that person, and that person, this is the result he gives. Well, understand that if that hurt is going to sit within you, then it must be that this time you created expectations. You helped someone, and then from that help, you expected gratitude. You expected that they should be thankful to you. If they are not thankful to you, what will it do? It'll break those expectations. And when expectations of any kind break, what do they bring to us? Hurt, of course. They bring us hurt. So be to able to look at, and I constantly keep telling in this place every Saturday, keep looking, because expectations are so amazing that every now and then we release the expectations, we release with 5 people, and then we just simply build them with 3 other people. And so when we keep looking, the bath is every day. When we keep looking and keep looking at today, am I feeling any hurt? Then the finger not outside, immediately bringing the finger back within to say, oh, with which all actors today do I seem to have developed an expectation? And simply release it, because expectation leads to conditional love. And conditional love to the outside may be, but mostly conditional love to the self, because there is no other. There is absolutely no other. So the more you get conditional towards giving love to someone, the more you are going to experience hurt. And the more it's no longer love, it is simply your expectation and the hurt from there being reflected back at you. So the thing to do would be to work on yourself and to be able to not just release the hurt, but also to be able to work on a few expectations that you might have noticed coming from the outside. When you look at, what is this person saying? Why are they feeling this? What are they doing? Now, if you've already looked at the first level and you say, okay, so I was feeling hurt and I've looked at the hurt and I'm no longer feeling hurt. Take a look within. Take a look within again to see, are you feeling something else? What all emotions are you experiencing? Over here, I'll just go into a story. I love coming up with webinars, especially when, somebody has just come and, opened that story out to me, or when somebody talks about some experience and from there, I receive a webinar topic. So this is something that very much happened just a few days ago. Somebody came to me and said, this person who used to be so close to you and all of that stuff, now they are spreading all kinds of stuff about you. So I said, okay. And then the person said, no, this is, it angers me so much that how can they be so ungrateful? I said, ungratefulness is as much a frequency as gratefulness is. So if right now somebody is sitting in ungratefulness, what about their sitting in that frequency is bothering you? Says, no, how can they be ungrateful? So when somebody else being ungrateful is bothering you. This person was not even part of the story. This one was an outsider who got to hear from someone that things are that Meenal is this and Meenal is that. And so they worked on themselves, couldn't work very much on themselves. And then they came and then they spoke to me about it. And pretty much this was my face. And I'm laughing. And I said, okay, they are speaking something about me. I am the one that they're speaking about. They are the ones speaking it. What about this is triggering you? And they said, no, this being ungrateful is what is triggering me. And I said, okay, then the work has come on you. The work has come on you. Simply sit and look at all the places where you might have been ungrateful to someone, or might not have been fully grateful to someone, or there might be, some parts of you that have not even understood and are not being grateful to the outside. And so sit deeper within yourself and see what parts of those ungrateful parts of yours are coming up to be accepted. That's all there is. There is no one outside. There is you and your mirror. And so that person, when they're talking to you and you are getting triggered in this story, they are getting triggered, then the work has come on them to be able to see where they are getting triggered from and to be able to accept those parts with non-judgment. Totally with non-judgment that, okay, this person, so the words they used was, this person is backstabbing you. And I said, I don't have a back. Really, this was the words that came out. I said, I don't have a back. I am 360 degrees. I'm energy and nobody can stab me in the back. Whatever is happening is perfectly allowed. It's perfectly accepted by me. Whenever we look at somebody, when I look at somebody who, let us say, is backstabbing me, the only thing that I look at is, firstly, not to define the person, as, oh, this person is what was the word that was used? Two-faced, but backstabber, and some such lovely adjectives. Not to define anybody with those adjectives, but simply to be able to look at, okay, what frequency are they operating from? When they are operating from hurt, what am I going to do? When they are operating from hurt, and from that operation of hurt, if I tune into anger, what's the point? What's the point of being aware? When they are operating from hurt, can I simply send them some unconditional love? If I can, great, because that would be my aware energies acting in my favor when I'm able to change my frequency at my wish, not the outside world. The outside world cannot come and move me. And even if I move for a few seconds, I will find my center back into masti. And so simply to be able to see when the outside, that one person, let us say, if he's operating from hurt, and that is why he is saying those things, what am I going to do about it? To that person, I will send love. Because just as their hurt frequencies have been received by me in this form, my unconditional love will also be received by them. If they're operating from jealousy and therefore operating from lack, already they're operating from lack. My adding to that lack, my adding to the anger for that, what is the point? I'm already sitting in abundance. Why would I look at somebody sitting in lack and curse them? I can only be unconditional towards them to say, whatever your journey is, may you find peace and may you find awareness in that journey soonest. So again, coming back to my masti and operating that from that space of masti, that is what I would do. If that person is acting from, what was that third thing that we had talked about? One was hurt, the other was jealousy, mistrust. Of course, if somebody is going to act from mistrust, and when they are acting from mistrust, if we tune into the same frequency of mistrust, then where's the difference? then where is the difference in awareness? One has become unaware, and it's okay to be unaware, and it's okay to be aware. But if you are sitting and feeling all triggered about this, and I would just simply say, take a look at your own frequency of mistrust, because that other person is talking about mistrusting a third person or me in this picture. But then if they are mistrusting, you are no different. You are also mistrusting. You have also tuned into the frequency of mistrust. And so simply working on that own frequencies of mistrust and being able to see outside to say, what frequency are they coming from? What is it that I need to look at? So over here, the beautiful answer was that firstly, when I asked them, I said, take a look at where all you've not been grateful. And so there's somebody not being grateful is irritating you, it's triggering you. It has come that your ungratefulness has come for acceptance. Your ungratefulness has come for acceptance through that person, because that person is simply a mirror to you. And the second part of this particular story, when you look at somebody and they are being two-faced, and again, they're being two-faced, they're being, complaining to somebody, but not going out and speaking up to me. If their complaining is also irritating you, that they are two-faced, simply look within to see where all you have been two-faced, where all you have been two-faced, because that part of you is coming for acceptance as well. There is no one outside except for our own mirrors. And so beautiful that actually whenever I have interactions with that person, the interactions are always beautiful. And I can still see, and whatever they might be, whatever this third person might be calling as two-facedness, I simply see as I am love. And so that person is simply reflecting my love back at me. It's not that they are not speaking the truth, they are speaking my truth. And to you, if it's triggering you, then that person is speaking your truth. So in the whole thing, it was just so beautiful, because when they said this and they said, and I'm upset about this and I'm upset about that. And I said, well, if you are telling me that this conversation is about me, does this look like the face of an upset person? Because you simply got to understand that everybody moves through frequencies. Nobody is tied to a certain frequency. But yes, sometimes some frequency, and it happens to all of us, that we go through frequencies of joy, and then we go through extreme lack. Just out of nowhere, on one particular day, we wake up and we go through lack. So if you are going through lack, and I'm going to judge you that why are you doing this because you're sitting in lack. If I'm going to judge you, who has the work come on? The work has come on me only. And so constantly looking at, are we judging somebody outside of us? If we are judging somebody outside of us, the work has come on us only. When somebody is speaking something about you, send love. Send love, because either you hurt them, but you didn't hurt them. It was their frequency of hurt which chose you as an actor, and you played that role. And as you play that role, now are you going to judge yourself? Oh, I must have hurt. There is no judgment required, nor on that side. And when you don't judge on that side, you don't even judge yourself for the roles that you are playing. That role, who has given? Those people who are feeling hurt have given you this role, and the role can only be played. This is such a beautiful place that I was shown this many, many years ago, when I was very aware that I'm constantly hurting. I was very aware that what is happening, no matter what I do, no matter what I want to say, anything that comes out of my mouth is totally hurting. In those days, there was a period, it's totally hurting Sudhanshu, my husband. Everything that comes out of my mouth is simply hurting. And I became aware. And I said, I don't want to play this role. I do not wish to play this role to hurt people. And why would I be hurting him? He's so near and dear to me. Why would I be hurting him? And Mani said, hurt is only created from expectation. And expectations are only created from a very choice set of people. You don't create expectations from everyone. You choose a very small subset to create expectations from. And from them, you would receive hurt. But hurt, so I was reminded that, okay, you're looking at it today because I was in the aware state. And I said, I don't wish to play this role of hurting people. But I was reminded, okay, now you go back to your life. And whenever you felt hurt by Sudhanshu or by anybody else, when you were made to feel hurt, where did it bring you? And I looked at my entire journey, and the answer was, it brought me to self-love. It brought me to more self-love. I thought I already loved myself, but through the hurt, through moving through the hurt and then letting go of the hurt and saying, no, I love myself. And that became the answer. I love myself and I am good. I am awesome. And from that space, more self-love, more self-love. So it was the hurt that was actually the beautiful trigger frequency that got me into the space of more love for myself. Many of you who are also coming here from hurt space will find that, you also have come to these sessions, to these classes, to other classes, to spiritual, paths through that hurt. You will see that that hurt has played a very big role in you becoming deeper in your spiritual journey. And so as you are understanding that, then simply even that person who is giving you hurt, and we operate as he is giving us hurt and we can't go and tell it back to him, let me complain to somebody else, let me vent it out, let me backbite. Instead of that, simply to be able to understand that if they are operating from hurt, they've given you that role. And so in that place, when Sudhanshu was being hurt, I was made to understand that their energy, his energy, has given me that role so that he can move deeper and deeper into self-love. And I will have to play the role because that is not something that I have a choice. If I resist a role, if I resist anything, then I have fear. So I did have fear of hurting somebody. But when this was told to me that fear is, fear can be let go. Hurt is also a frequency with a purpose. Even hurt has purpose, and the purpose is to bring you further and further into your journey of self-love. So when I understood that, I allow myself to be in the role to hurt anyone. I understand that in this moment, you might not like what I'm saying and what I'm doing. When you do come to awareness, whenever you come to awareness, your finger will move towards yourself and you will be able to let go of whatever hurt was created through me. Because in that moment, when you let go of your judgments and you are sitting in more self-love and more self-love, you are clearly able to see that there is nobody outside but you and your reflections. So when I understand, and you might be doing the same thing, you might be playing the role of hurting someone, be aware, be aware. And as soon as you hurt someone and you recognize it, that you've hurt someone, if you don't recognize it, masti it is. But if you recognize that you have hurt someone, simply in that moment, send them one dollop of unconditional love. That I honor you, I honor your journey, and you are the Shiva, and I am Shiva too. So that is all that unconditional love is all about. Simply being in the place of honoring that Shiva wherever they are sitting and being able to bring the finger over here to say, am I triggered? Am I feeling anything? What exactly is my emotion through this? So when this conversation happened, in that moment, I felt nothing. And then about a day later, when I was, my mind was taken back to that place, and I felt a little bit sad for that person. I felt a little bit sad for that person. And it was so funny because it took about 3.5 seconds for that sadness to come, to be witnessed. And I simply said to myself, oh, wow. And that person today became the tool for my 3-minute sadness. Not 3 minutes, it was a little bit less, but just, literally 3 seconds or three, something or the other, 3 moments. And I said, wow, today I had to tune into the sadness frequency, and they became the tool to tune me into the sadness frequency. And I honor and I thank you for being that tool. And that was the end of the story. So this is how beautifully, when we understand even this part about hypocrisy. What is hypocrisy? That somebody is got 2 faces, somebody saying something different, somebody saying something different. You as energy, keep your focus with it. If the energy is going to move outside, only more stories will be created, because that's your energy. Forget that person's mistrust energy and that person's hurt frequency and that person's anger. Now it is all about you. It is your hurt frequency, your anger frequency, your mistrust frequency at play. So what are you going to do about it? Witness it, observe it, and allow it. Allow it. Allow for you to be whoever you are, accepting fully that, yes, I am two-faced. Yes, I allow that I am two-faced. Yes, I am ungrateful. And yes, I allow that I am ungrateful. So much for this topic on hypocrisy and two-facedness and backbiting and whatever that was. If anybody has any questions for me, please feel free to ask. Any questions? No? All right then. Okay then. Either everybody understood everything or everybody understood nothing. Either ways, mercy is mine. Okay, everyone. Just a deep breath in and exhale. A deep breath in and exhale. Just a second. Before I even begin, I'm going to read out how to deal if you are coming from the place of bitterness and not able to forgive. Yeah, the finger is outside. When will you not be able to forgive? When you think that this entire event that happened is because of them, it's their fault, they did this, and then you will come from a place of bitterness. The bitterness is all about what? Feeling hurt. I just talked you. The bitterness is created from where? Bitterness is totally created from hurt only. And we had such a long understanding of where is the bitterness coming from expectations, from attachments, and from a place of looking outside, putting the finger outside. It has nothing to do with the outside. It is your energy at all times. Not able to forgive. No forgiveness is needed. No forgiveness is ever needed. You know why? Because the outside is simply always your reflection, whoever you are. You can't see it, and there's an outside face to somebody or the other. It could be anybody. But if they're causing you hurt, then definitely, every time I look at the place of hurt, when somebody hurts me, in the next minute, I begin to work, okay, they've hurt me. I must have definitely created some expectations somewhere. And wherever there is expectation, your love, your flow of love is completely stopped over there. Now it is a transaction. I do this, you do that. But does life move as per transaction? No. Life moves as per energy. No matter what you do for somebody, what will they give back to you? So many times we say, but I did so much for this person and they are not doing that for me. But if you did something for that person, it was their energy that gave you this role of doing so much for them. But what did your energy give to them? Take a look at that role that your energy has handed over to that person. Whenever the finger is outside, bitterness might be created. But bitterness is simply all about feeling so hurt. We can name it so many different things, but bitterness means that the finger is outside. And when you become aware and the finger comes back within, then you can work on yourself. Otherwise, you will always sit in the victim space. And the victim is, this person did this to me, and that person did this to me, and that person needs to change, and that person needs to change. And that is never the case. That person is that person to you and to you alone, because that's your frequency. And then that person is exactly the same to somebody else? No. It will be that no matter what the other person is seeking, whatever that person's energy holds, you think you are one person to everybody. It cannot be the case, because everybody has not given you the same role. Even if you have two children, if within the two children, you might think that you are giving both your children exactly the same thing, but it is not you that is giving your two children exactly the same thing, because their energies will receive differently. Even if you're giving the exact same food to them, their energies will perceive that food as per their own frequencies. And that is why even within, brothers and sisters, you always have one person complaining, oh, you love that person more. Is that really true? Might be true, but many a times, even when it is not true, you get into the space of, oh, that person is being loved more only because your energy is of lack. And that's what you have to experience. That's what you have to experience. So the lack is not that that person is showing you lack. The lack exists within you. And from that space, you will find that, no, this one is not loving me enough. That one is loving them too much. So the bitterness comes from this comparison. When you're saying, okay, this one is not doing good to me, this one is doing good to them, that might be a case of bitterness. Why should I be at the receiving end of all that is not good? If you are at the receiving end of all that is not good, of all that is terrible, or whatever, simply take a look. Hurt, lack, mistrust. Those are the three frequencies which are from the place where you will be putting your finger outside and being bitter and then complaining. That's all there is to it. So when the finger is outside, well, you have to wait for the whole world to change. That is the unaware space, when we want to reform that one and we want to be able to forgive that one. But when all of this is a reflection of your frequency, what is there to forgive? Who is there to forgive? This is simply your space and your reflection outside. And so nothing to forgive, simply to accept that this is my frequency. And the beautiful part is that the minute you are able to accept that this is the frequency, this is my frequency, this is my frequency creating the khela, all of this stuff is happening from my frequency. Now, no longer you're in the victim space, you are in the space of Shiva, because you just saw that something was your creation. Okay, that creation was of mistrust. In that moment, you might be the Shiva of mistrust. However, now that you're able to see it, now can you be the Shiva of trust? Now that you're able to see your hurt, can you let go of expectations and attachments and come to unconditional love for the self? Because all the roads lead here. All the roads, whether you're giving love to somebody or not giving love to somebody, that somebody doesn't exist. All those roads, all those fingers that get pointed outside, all of them lead here. And this is where the buck stops. For me, here, for you, at you. I hope I answered that. All right. So if you're coming from the place of bitterness, heal yourself. And the healing can only be done when the finger comes back within. The outside, otherwise, is all about blame. Okay, everyone. A deep breath in. A deep, deep breath in. And exhale. Simply allowing yourself to be. Allowing yourself to be. Allowing yourself to breathe. If there are any thoughts in your mind right now, simply moving them out. Move them out with gentle love. I put you to the side for now. I will entertain you later. And right now, simply being with the breath. In the now, you are just this breath. No past and no future. No past and no future. When would that happen? When you have simply accepted your past and your future. Everything that is getting created is created from your energy. The past is created from your energy. The future is created from your energy. Whatever your energy, it is inevitable. Inevitable that your future is created from there. And so simply in this moment, firstly, just accepting your past and accepting your future. In this moment, I accept all the events that have happened to me. And I accept all the events that will play out in the future from my energy. I accept my energy as is. Even if I don't change it, even if I don't do anything about it, even if I stay unaware, even if I become aware, I accept my energy as is. Releasing all judgments about yourself and about the energy that you operate from. Even if you operate from lack, even if it is mistrust, even if it is resentment, even if hurt and bitterness, I accept myself as is. In this moment, simply hug yourself. Hug yourself and accept. I accept myself. I accept myself. I accept every energy that I am. I accept every play of my energies that is. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am love. I am love. And now bring to your mind somebody, anybody who might have hurt you, And in this place of hurt, you put your finger outside and then go through the loop of mistrust and you go through the loop of bitterness. But in this moment, as you think of that someone who might have hurt you, simply acknowledging the hurt is my frequency. The hurt is my frequency Thank you for showing it to me. Thank you for showing it to me. For that person, if you created any expectations that were broken, well, that is where the hurt would come from. That a person should behave in a certain way, that they should be in a certain way. And if that belief of yours, that expectation of yours is broken, it'll bring you hurt. So understanding that it is simply your expectation and no one outside is obligated to fulfill your expectation. No one outside can fulfill your expectation. Your expectation can only be released, and let this be the moment that you become a witness to your expectations. And in this moment, release. I release. I allow myself to be free from my expectations in this moment. Judgments, if any, for this person, if you hold, judgments are nothing for the outside. The judgments are only for the self. So whatever judgments you are holding for this person that hurt you, whatever judgments you are holding in this moment, be a witness to your judgments. I am in the frequency of non-judgment. Whatever plays, as it plays, how it plays, when it plays, I honor, I allow, I accept. I allow, I accept. And then, now that you are in this place of non-judgment, guess which frequency is the frequency of non-judgment? Yes, it is the frequency of Shiva. So as you sit in this frequency of non-judgment, allowing all plays, allowing all illusions to play out as they wish to play, not judging any role, not judging any actor, you sit in that powerful space of Shiva. I am Shiva. In this moment, I am Shiva. Completely accepting and allowing, I am. No fear, no regrets, no anger, no judgment, no sadness, none of those frequencies of the mind as I sit in the place of non-judgment. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. And now, however you visualize Shiva, whichever way you see him, as light, as body, whichever form you see Shiva as, take a moment to visualize that form. And now, move that visual closer, closer, closer to yourself till the time you can see Shiva's face. And look at the face, because the face belongs to you. You are the creator. You are the destroyer. You are everything in the middle. You are all there is. You are Shiva. Look at your face in the Shiva form. Absorb the vibration in the now. Put out your hands. This is a powerful place to be. This is such a powerful place to be. Absorb the energies of this moment. I am Shiva. Stepping back a little bit. Stepping back a little bit more. Being able to look at Shiva. Being able to look at him. And now, anchored in that space of creation, in that frequency of non-judgment. Come back into the here and now. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you for being here.